Hello everyone, welcome to Little Woolly Things. My name is Wendelica and this is a knitting podcast if you have never watched before. I know it's been a really long time since the last time I recorded an episode. Life has been crazy. This whole COVID experience has just thrown my household for a loop. I'm sure that you have probably experienced some upheaval as well. So yeah, it's been difficult to fit in podcasting time, but I'm going to tell you at least one story, maybe a couple stories. I'm going to show off some of the projects I've been working on, and I have a feeling this is going to be a really short episode, so it's not going to require a huge time investment on your part. All you need to do is grab your favorite beverage, your project to work on while I'm talking to you, and let's get started. So the beverage that I have chosen today is a fruit smoothie that my son Justin made for me. It's very, very yummy. He got started on that idea because we had a very ripe banana sitting on the counter that needed to be used up. And you can't make banana bread with only one banana, but you can use it to base a smoothie on. So I think he just threw the banana in the blender and some almond milk, some orange juice concentrate, and some mixed fruit that we had in the freezer. And it's pretty darn yummy. So I am going to be enjoying that while I talk to you. And I think I'm going to start off with one of the projects that I was working on the last episode. I was working on a pair of leggings. And I'm going to insert some photos in here for you because, and I'll tell you the story. So we are inheriting my husband's parents' place, which is a sheep ranch. So along with inheriting the sheep ranch, we also get the sheep. Right now we have the sheep separated, so the boys are in one pasture and the girls are in another pasture. And the girls, the ewes and the yearling lambs, they are in a pasture that belongs to some friends of ours, and that's actually closer to us than the ranch. So we had to go out there and check on the sheep. And I thought, oh, I'll tramp across there. We were on our way home from church. We're all dressed up in our church clothes, you know. And I was wearing my brand new leggings. And I love, love, love my leggings so much. Like, you could not imagine how comfortable these leggings are. And I'm so happy that it's finally cold enough that I can wear them. So anyway, I wore my leggings for church. And I have a skirt on that's above my knees. So, you know, you can see my pretty leggings. Anyway, we walked out across the field to check on the sheep. And we were bringing them some minerals and just, you know, making sure they were all doing okay. So we got out there, I took some pictures of the sheep, it was all nice, and we walked back out to the car, got in the car, got partway home, and I looked down at my leggings, and they were covered with burrs, like clustered thickly, like crazy, full of burrs. So we got home and I thought, well, maybe if I get my sweater shaver out, I can save them without having to sit there and pick each little burr by hand out of my leggings. And I was wearing my hand knit socks and my Birkenstocks, so of course my socks were also covered with burrs. And I got a little video here that I will show you of all the burrs all over my socks and my leggings. So yeah, that was awful. I looked and looked and looked and I couldn't find my sweater shaver anywhere. I still don't know where it is. So I actually laid out a drop cloth on my dining table and got a paper bag, and I sat and I picked every little burr out of my leggings and my socks. The kids were watching an interactive video, and so that kind of kept my mind occupied a little bit while I was picking these burrs out. I actually got them all out. I think I got them all out. Probably I'll find 2 or 3 that I missed somewhere in the next few days. Hopefully I find them before they goes into the washer and they become a permanent part of the fabric, you know. So anyway, I do want to show you my leggings. The pattern came from a book by Elizabeth Zimmerman, The Opinionated Knitter, and I think I mentioned that in my last podcast. So I'm not sure if I can get a good camera angle to show off my leggings, but let's see what we can do. Oh, that's a really bad angle. There. Let's see, you can see my leggings and my skirt that I just hiked up. They are really, really wonderful. I know that the colorway is called Mermaid Tails. So yeah, these are the most comfortable leggings I have ever worn, ever. And I'm going to make more. They only took about 3 skeins of yarn, I think. I used 2 sock sets, so 100-gram skeins with mini skeins, and I used all of the 2 sock sets that I had plus a little bit from another skein of yarn, because that 2 sock sets wasn't quite enough. So I'm guessing it was about 3 skeins of yarn worth. So anyway, and that's fingering weight yarn. So it was a lot of stitches, and I am so glad that I put the time into these, because this is one of those projects that has been on my bucket list for years and years. I've had that Elizabeth Zimmerman book for a really long time, and when I first got it I thought, oh, someday I'm going to make myself leggings, right? So I finally did, and they are the most comfortable leggings. The waistband doesn't roll. I did take the time to actually knit an elastic casing at the waist, so I put in some non-roll elastic, and it doesn't roll. I can bend, I can move, I can, you know, do a cartwheel, and the waistband is not going to roll on me, and that's just, it's wonderful. So wonderful. So anyway, that's one of the stories I needed to tell you, because I was so just heartsick over what I did just walking across the field to look at the sheep, you know. Next time I will let Eric walk across the field all by himself, unless I'm wearing jeans or something, and my mud boots. So I learned a lesson. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to show you is a new pattern that I actually have being tested right now. And this is, let me put these on and I will show you what I've been working on. So even though my life has been crazy busy, I have been thinking for a while about how I wanted to design my caravan mitts to go with my caravan shawl pattern. So here are the mitts. I really, really love them. This uses the same lace design that's in the caravan shawl, the same lace edging, although I did modify it so that it lengthens out toward this edge here on both sides to drape nicely. And if you turn your hand upside down as you're walking along, oops, sorry, the ruffle does come down over your hand, but not so far that it's going to cover your fingers. And I have really small hands, so I know that this is not going to be an issue for anyone else. This is not going to be too long to get in your way. And I think it would look really cool peeking out of a coat sleeve, you know, be all old-fashioned. So anyway, I'm pretty proud of this. And as I said, it's being tested right now. And, sorry, I've got stuff slipping around on me. I have also reworked my caravan shawl. You may have seen this pattern before. If not, I invite you to check it out on Ravelry. This, I just am reworking it in a new colorway here. This is my caravan shawl pattern. Da, da, da. It's a fairly large size shawl. It wraps around and around. And the thing that I love about it, if you've watched this podcast before, you've seen me show this off before. The thing that I really love is the way these ruffles drape around the neck when you're wearing it, kind of granny style. It's just, I think it's really easy to style, and it looks really cool when you're wearing it with the ruffles on the edge. The ruffles are a lot of work, I'll tell you that. It's a lot of stitches by the time you get done with this shawl, but with the caravan mitts and the matching shawl, I think it makes a really, really stunning combination. And I will be photographing the shawl when I photograph the mitts, so that the shawl will be re-released and the mitts will be released kind of at the same time. So be on the lookout for the caravan mitts and the restyled caravan shawl, and I will be releasing those on Ribbler as well as Ravelry, so you can find it just about anywhere, and there will be a link to it on my website, which is littlewoollythings.com. If you have not checked out my website, go ahead. You can see all the patterns that I have released over there, and I think there are some links to some other products in my Etsy shop. I do some sugar scrubs and hand lotions and things like that. Yeah. So the other thing that has been keeping me super extra busy is my latest entrepreneurial adventure, which is starting up Bravewood Beanery. I have been roasting coffee for about the last 5 years, and I added coffee to my Etsy shop, my Little Woolly Things Etsy shop, and people started ordering it, and it got pretty popular, and I thought, you know, if I'm going to sell a lot of hand-roasted coffee, it should have its own Etsy shop. So I opened a second Etsy shop, which is Bravewood Beanery, and then that actually started to generate more and more and more sales, and I started looking at my finances and realizing that the Etsy fees were getting very expensive, and the shipping costs, and it just would be a lot cheaper for me to have my own website. So I also have bravewoodbeanery.com, and I have quite a variety of coffees available there. I also have my Etsy shop still open, so Bravewood Beanery on Etsy if you prefer to order that way. So yeah, I'm roasting coffee every week and trying to keep on top of my inventory between the two sales venues, so that I don't mistakenly sell out of something, not realizing, you know, if the inventory numbers, you know, if it goes away, if I sell, like if I have 10 pounds of maybe a Kenya, and I have 10 pounds of Kenya listed on my Etsy shop, and that same 10 pounds listed on my website, I could potentially sell 20 pounds when I only have 10. So I do have to keep my eye closely on that, and that sort of thing has been keeping me busy. I've gone through a couple different inventory sheets that I'm designing, you know, specifically for what I need, and I'm getting closer to a system I think that will work. We are also building an actual roastery, so that will be a building out at the ranch that will be set up specifically as Bravewood Beanery. So I'll have my roaster out there, I will have my prep space, I will have my shipping area. It'll all be contained in one place, and I won't be sharing my kitchen with all the coffee beans and the roaster and stuff, which is where we're at right now. So yeah, that has been keeping us busy. It's very slow. My husband is working on building me a bigger roaster than I have currently, and he's looking for parts. So that has slowed us down a little bit in making that happen. But it is coming along, and right now I'm at a level where I'm keeping up with my orders, and that makes me really happy. And I'm getting orders every week, which also makes me very happy. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to having a little more roasting capability so that I can get those orders put together faster and not spend quite so much time at the roaster and more time with my kiddos. So that's where Bravewood Beanery is at right now. We have some merchandise in development that will be hopefully available for Christmas orders. We're looking toward putting together a gift box with coffee cups and a bag of coffee and some other really fun stuff. There are some things that we're not going to have ready for this Christmas season, but afterwards, after the holidays, we will be developing some more gift sort of items. So stay tuned. Gee, what else do I have to talk about? Oh, I am also working on a baby blanket. This is the baby blanket that I'm working on because my children keep having babies and I'm getting behind on the grandkid baby blankets. So this is a free pattern, free design. I found it on Ravelry, and let me see if I can find the pattern name for you. My phone is tweeting at me. Alright, so let's go to Ravelry. Or I know, even faster than that. Let me look at my files that I downloaded. Because it's on my phone in downloads. Yes, here it is. Okay, this is a pattern from Lion Brand, and it is called the Meadowlands Baby Afghan. And I'll show you the picture that is on the pattern. Isn't that cute? So you knit this in triangles, 4 triangles, as you go around with 2 gradient yarns. This was written for Lion Brand Mandala yarn. I am not using that particular brand of yarn. I am using a couple yarns that I found at Michael's. They are both Karen yarns, Karen Yarnspirations. This one is Cotton Cakes. Here we go. And it is, what's the colorway? Rose Whisper. And the other one is Latte Cakes. And the colorway is, what's the colorway called? Earl Grey. So this one is 100%, no, it's not 100% acrylic, it's got nylon in it. 58% acrylic and 42% nylon, and it's very, very fluffy, as you can see. And this one is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. And so it doesn't have the fuzz factor going on, but it definitely has the soft, cottony, billowy feel. And I am striping between the two. And as the color shifts, I have different combinations of the two coming together. And I just really, really love this. I love the way the colors are working out. So it's all garter stitch. It's a free pattern. Pretty simple. Very, very good TV knitting kind of project. I gotta tell on myself a little bit. I've actually started 3 baby blankets for this one granddaughter. This is the 3rd one I have started. And I keep coming up with these huge, big, grand plans, you know, for these elaborate baby blankets. And I get started. Baby blanket number 1, I was going to use lace weight yarn, put it on my knitting machine, and knit these long tubes, and then I was going to stuff them with fiberfill, and then I was going to knit that with great big huge knitting needles, right? That didn't happen. That was way too much work. When I started trying to stuff the tube with the fiber fill, no, there was no way. So then I thought, well, I'll just roll the strips of yarn that I have knitted on the knitting machine and just use them like t-shirt yarn. That was also too much work because you have to, you only get so much length out of one skein of yarn, and then you have to join, and make another, and it was just, I wasn't getting that done. So then, what was the next idea? Oh, I decided I was going to use my spool knitter. I have a hand crank, thing that makes like I-cord. And I thought, well, I'll just crank a huge, like yards and yards and yards of that, and it won't be as big and chunky, but it'll still be like a tube, and I can knit that, and it will be like a knitted thing, double knitted. It's just too much work to knit, to create the material, to then go ahead and knit the material. Like knitting the baby blanket is already enough work. To have to actually create the yarn with the knitting machine or with the spool knitter and then knit it was not happening. So I was really happy when I found this pattern, and I thought, you know what, I can do that. I can sit and watch something with the kiddos, or I can watch podcasts. Hold on a second while I check my phone because it's tweeting at me. I should have turned off my notifications before I started recording, so I'm going to do that right now so that nobody else tries to grab my attention. I will get onto Instagram later and check all my messages. So yeah, this one almost done. Like, I'm over halfway done. I think I'll actually finish this one. Yay me. So this is for grandbaby number 3. Grandbaby number 4 will be next. And then grandbaby number 5, who is still a bun in the oven. Hopefully I'll get hers done somewhere around when she's actually born. So that's going to keep me busy for a little while, besides, roasting coffee and homeschooling my kids and things like that. My husband tells people right now my kids are learning inventory and shipping procedures as their school project. So they have been helping me with getting my coffee orders out and stuff, and that's really awesome. I really enjoy having their help, and they enjoy helping me. I think they keep saying that they need t-shirts that say shipping department on the back. I might just have to find t-shirts that say shipping department or have them made or something. So I'm looking around. I'm not seeing anything else that I needed to talk about as far as knitting. So I thought I'd just tell you a story from our last couple of weeks here in the house at Bravewood Beanery, at Bravewood. We kind of call this Bravewood Manor sometimes. At Bravewood. So anyway, I got to tell you the story. When my husband and I were just going out, he told me about this peanut butter pie that he remembered from when he was a kid. And it made such an impression on him that he just, he couldn't say enough wonderful things about this peanut butter pie. It was made by a woman who was a friend of the family. She was an elderly lady, and she passed away, and nobody knew how to make her peanut butter pie, and he was sad. And so I tried to find a peanut butter pie recipe and, served it to him. What do you think of this? Is this as good as Agnes's peanut butter pie? And he would say, well, this one's good, but it's not Agnes's, And so my husband and I have been married now for 32 years. And every time I find a new peanut butter pie recipe, I try it, and I say, what about this one? Is this one getting closer? Am I getting closer? And he was like, it's just not Agnes's pie. I mean, this is good. He's always very complimentary. He loves peanut butter pie in any kind of form. But it's just not the same as his memory. And so we have wondered, was that peanut butter pie actually that good? Like so amazing that nothing could come close? Or is it just that phenomenon of, that childhood memory making you feel so good that it like amplifies the goodness in your memory, and nothing can ever compare because it wasn't actually as amazing as you remember it to be. It's just, the warmth of the memory that does that to you. So yes, we have actually wondered if it was really actually that great a pie. But I was, I was actually looking for buttons for the caravan mitts here. I was down on my knees in the closet wading through my button box, and my daughter brought me the phone, and it was my parents-in-law, and they always make their phone calls with speakers so you can hear both of them talking. So anyway, Mom says, "You'll never guess what we just found." So they're going through stuff at the ranch in the house, trying to get all of their their 50 years of accumulated stuff sorted through and taken care of before we move in over there. So they were going through stuff, and they found a recipe card handwritten by Agnes, and it was her peanut butter pie recipe. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. You have no idea. Like, I've been searching for 30 years, over 30 years, 32, 33 years since Eric told me this story about this peanut butter pie. I've been trying to find a recipe that's comparable, And she found Agnes's recipe. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I've been looking for that recipe for 30 years. And Mom said, "So have I." So anyway, Dad in the background, I could hear him say, "I'm sending you pictures." So in just a few minutes, my phone buzzed, and he sent me pictures of the recipe card. So that was fun. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I had some whipping cream. I would make this tonight. We would have peanut butter pie tonight." I didn't have any whipping cream. So I went to town the next day to do some grocery shopping. I bought some whipping cream, and I was planning on making peanut butter pie. I think it was Monday when they called me. Wednesday, I was planning on making the pie. And I actually got my crust all pre-baked and everything, and I got out the recipe and I looked at it and realized that it needed eggs. And my little son had cooked himself an egg that was our last egg that we had in the house for breakfast. So I had no eggs. And we have chickens, but they're not laying anymore because the weather's getting cooler and the sun's not as, we don't have as much sun in the sky for as many hours. So, yeah, so I sent him out to the chicken coop anyway. It's like, just look, see if we have any eggs. No eggs. So I had to run to town. Got to town, bought the eggs, got back home. So I didn't even get started making this pie until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something. I mean, I had the crust made, so that was something. Anyway, so I'll see if I can shorten the story a little bit. I made the peanut butter pie, got it in the refrigerator, got it all chilled and everything. And I called him when he was just getting off work, and, "Hey, how's your day going?" And I said, "I've got a roast in the oven, so, don't take too long getting home." And he said, "Well, I've got to stop by a friend's house because he asked me for help with something, but I'll try not to stay too late." So he's at the friend's house, and I had talked with his wife earlier, and I told her the story, and she was so excited. She realized that our husbands were out there just chit-chatting, not getting anything done, and I had this surprise waiting. And so she trundled herself out there, and, "You better get home, there's a surprise waiting for you." And so then Eric called me, and he said, "Well, Cindy said that there was a surprise for me." And I was like, "She didn't tell you what it was, did she?" He says, "No, she just said there was a surprise." So he was quite confused, like, what in the world? He got home, and I looked at him as we were eating dinner. I said, "So you're probably wondering what your surprise is, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, you're going to have to wait till after dinner." So he's like, trying to decide how concerned he should be. You can imagine the sort of things that might have been running through his mind. So anyway, after dinner, I brought out the pie and I set it in front of him, and he cut the pie, and I waited till he had taken a bite, and I said, okay, how does this compare? You know, is it anything like your memory? And he said, well, it has been like 40 years, but this is pretty good. And I said, okay, so this recipe is the most unique peanut butter pie recipe I have ever seen, and I never could have come up with this on my own. So I printed it out for you. And so I handed him the printout of the pictures that Dad had sent me, and he's looking at it and looking at it, and then he reads the name because she had signed her name on it, and he said, where in the world did you find this? I was like, well, your mom found it. So it was great. His reaction was just wonderful, and we all had fun surprising him with it. So now we have the peanut butter pie recipe. It's amazing. I don't know if I can share it here with you guys because I don't know if it's a closely guarded family secret or anything. I'm going to have to do a little research and see if I can share it. If I get permission from Agnes's family to share her recipe, then yeah, I'll post a picture on Instagram with the recipe under it. But yeah, it was so fun. Finally, after so many years, we found the peanut butter pie recipe. So there you go. That was the highlight of our month probably, and it was a lot of fun. And now I have an awesome peanut butter pie recipe. So there you go. That's what's been happening here at Bravewood. And let's see, to go back to the caravan mitt pattern, I am planning on releasing that at the beginning of December. So you can keep your eyes peeled there. If you would like to like and subscribe, like this video, subscribe to the channel, you will probably get a notification when that actually goes live. You can follow me on Instagram as Little Woolly Things, and also as Bravewood Beanery, if you so desire. I also have a newsletter for the coffee so go to bravewoodbeanery.com, click on the little subscribe to the newsletter thing, give me your email address, and you will stay apprised of all the happenings over there. And I also send out coupons for subscribers in the newsletter that goes out about once a month. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm so glad you chose to share some of your time with Little Woolly Things here. I know that I enjoy watching podcasts while I'm knitting in the evenings after the kids go to bed, because that's my best quiet time. So thank you again, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, have a wonderful day. Don't let anything get you down, and keep on knitting. Bye.